Disrespect podcast. Today I am joined by Ryan, which has a huge accolade of skills in kickboxing when it comes to the martial arts. But the special thing about Ryan here is that he has asthma, and some of you guys might have seen on my posts a few weeks back. I was asking for any stories from fighters that suffer with asthma and were able to either train, compete, and in the Ryan's case, he was able to succeed at a high level. He has some news to break on the episode as well, so we're going to get into it. Ryan, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your accolades, and yeah, let's get into it.
Well, my name's Ryan Mooney. I am current WKA and WRSA All Ireland champion in K1, and I'm also the ICO Pro Am European champion. Just defended my belt there on Saturday, um, just Saturday past,
Yep.
and I have asthma. Well, I had asthma, but
Yes. Explain that to us. Right. Let's get into that right
so
straight away.
basically, when I was 13 years old, um, I was admitted at the hospital and spent a few days in hospital. Ended up being diagnosed with bronchial asthma. I used inhalers then for some part of my teenage life, and just when I turned 16, then I ended up going to West Bank Kickboxing Club. Now I done kickboxing when I was a child.
Right.
Uh, Before I was diagnosed, I done kickboxing when I was a child. But a period where I had attack and got diagnosed. I was in training during that time.
Of course.
So I joined West Bank Kickboxing Club under head coach China Coyle when I was 16. And during the next couple of years, just through steady training, I felt my symptoms disappear, really. Stopped taking my inhalers, and
Nothing
I say
happened.
there was a good span there for the last 5, 6 years where I haven't had to use my inhalers. Basically, the persistent training cured my asthma.
Wow. So is it so whenever the doctors diagnosed you, did they make any remarks to, oh, you can't exercise or you shouldn't like push yourself or anything like that?
I was told that I always had to have my blue inhaler when I
Yes.
was exercising, and they stop every so often and take a couple of puffs of my blue inhaler. Um, Not really ideal for me because I felt like I had to depend on them. My first couple of fights, I did bring my inhalers, and but I never had to use them. And then as time went along and I got fitter, uh, I just felt like
You didn't need them.
I didn't need them no more.
That's awesome. Question: when you say you brought the inhalers with you to the fights, were you allowed to take it in between rounds, or
No,
was this for after the
I had
fight?
to give them to the medics in
Okay.
case anything happened and I needed my inhalers. But
Right. Okay. Would it be up to the
you see,
doctors to stop the fight if, for example, you have a asthma attack halfway through?
yeah, if they thought that I was having an asthma attack or having difficulty breathing, then they could have stopped the fight,
Now,
and
this is
then they
very
would have had to
subjective, right?
administer my
Because
inhalers.
now this is very subjective because for anyone that has been in a fight, you do get difficulty breathing anyway, right?
100%, 100%.
So,
And
how do they
you know,
differentiate one and the other?
um, I think it was just their call, really.
Just
But
a
I was
call.
always fit and strong enough, you know, it thankfully it never happened.
So do you think? And I'm going to use numbers, and I'm just going to pull numbers out of my ass here. But do you think, for example, for the normal guy that has asthma, say for example, his threshold is say a 50, and then you have a guy like you that starts training and now your threshold becomes 70 and then 80 and then 90 and then 100.
Yeah.
So where someone asthma gets triggered at say 49, 50, and then someone like you that has elevated their threshold, now you're at
Yeah.
50, you're okay. Like it just doesn't trigger you. 60, you're still okay. 70, you're still okay, and so on. Do you think there's something like that happening?
Not necessarily, no, because I do all different types of training, you know, and even when I'm doing the likes of sprints and
Hmm.
stuff like that, um, I never have no issues. Lung capacity is a lot better than when I was using my inhalers.
That's what I meant. So the threshold
Yep.
is more or
Yeah,
less
yeah, I get what
the lung
you're saying.
capacity, right? So you've increased the lung
Yeah,
capacity, so your body is in much better shape now, which means it doesn't get triggered like a normal person that's unfit, right? Which is a
yeah,
reality.
yeah,
Most people don't train, and if they train, they
yeah,
don't do half of what you do, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
And I know that Bass Rutten, I'm sure you know Bass Rutten. He
of
also
course.
experienced the same thing where he said basically training cured his asthma.
He
You
had
know,
asthma. I didn't know that.
he had a really bad asthma. So he
Right.
did.
Okay. I didn't know that. Just
It's well
remember watching him in the
documented, and
UFC.
that was his motivation behind creating the O2 trainer, the mouthpiece that he uses
Right.
that they expand your lung capacity. So
Oh, right. Okay. I remember seeing him on the Joe Rogan podcast with that thing in his mouth. Right.
yeah,
Okay. So that's
yeah,
what it is. Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Bass had really severe asthma as a child,
Right.
and he credits training uh, as curing his asthma, and so do I.
That's awesome. Okay. And I'm saying this because I didn't know one that was possible. And my wife suffers from severe asthma, and that's what kind of got me thinking. I remember seeing Greg Hardy. I don't know if you follow the UFC, but
Yeah,
yeah, awesome. So
yeah,
heavyweight, halfway through the fight, he's like, "Can I have my inhaler?" The doctor gives him the inhaler, um,
yeah,
which again, it's not up to the doctor to know the rules, right? I guess
yeah.
the doctor is there just to keep the fighter safe to
Uh,
whatever extent of his job is. And yeah, the doctor gives him the inhaler. He gets a few puffs, wins the fight, and then gets DQ'd or turned to a no contest. I can't remember exactly.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that was the only guy that I knew, to my knowledge, that had asthma and that was also competing at a higher level, and that's what kind of
yeah.
inspired me to go out there and search for other fighters that had other stories like yourself. Um, so you start kickboxing again at 16, so a few years after getting diagnosed. At what point do you start realizing I can actually compete? I can actually make a run at this. I'm not being
Um,
withheld by my condition or anything like that.
yeah. Well, basically, I trained in West Bank for about a year or so, and then I had my first fight. And I done what a lot of people do, and I disappeared for a few years after that. I was just being a teenager, going out and drinking and stuff like that. Then
Ah,
I met my now fiance Nicole when I was 16, also.
nice.
So spending a lot of time with her. And when I was 19, Nicole got pregnant, and I decided that I was going to go back and start fighting again.
Wow.
So that's when I decided then I went back into the club and I told my coach that I was here to fight. He told me to get ready and we would see what comes up. And from then on, I've just been steady fighting. Haven't had no breaks. That's what I'd say going on 8 years. I've been fighting consistently, and I have 32 amateur fights,
Damn.
uh, 25 ones.
Nice.
So Um,
Yeah, you're
we've
pretty
had
good.
we've had a busy few years.
So you said that you're a pro and amateur champion of several organizations.
Yeah,
Can you just explain
yeah,
to us and the viewers? Most of my viewers are MMA fans. Some of them
yeah,
follow kickboxing, K1, Muay Thai. Some don't. So can you just explain which one is what?
yep. So there's three levels. There's amateur, which would be uh 10-ounce gloves and shin pads
Hmm.
when fighting, and then there is semi-pro or pro-am, and that would be with no shin guards
Yep.
and 10-ounce gloves, and then there's professional, where you're 8-ounce gloves, no shin guards, knees
Nothing.
to the head,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Everything
So
goes.
I've had 22, 30, 29 amateur fights, and I've had 3 semi-pro fights.
Okay. Which now leads me to the news that you are
Yep.
about to announce. So can you give us the news there?
I'm delighted to announce that I've just signed a contract to fight on Muay Thai Grand Prix,
Awesome.
and I will be making my professional debut on the 18th of May in Sheffield,
Wow.
England, and I'm
Delighted.
very much looking forward to it. This has been a long time in the making,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to take a step up to the next level.
100%. And here, huge congratulations
Thank you.
on getting there. For those that don't know, the Muay Thai Grand Prix is pretty much the UFC, let's just say, which
Yeah,
which then gives you the ticket to go to the One Championship. Am I correct to say that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
So
that's my ultimate goal, is
and
to
there's already an
fight on Muay
Irishman.
Thai Grand Prix. Yeah, and I believe I am the first fighter from the north of Ireland to fight professional on Muay Thai Grand Prix,
Oh
um,
wow.
which
Okay.
is
I didn't
which
know
is
that.
yeah. Um, a lot of Irish fighters from south of the border have fought on the show. So
That's right. Yeah.
as far as I know, I'm the first fighter from the north
Whereabouts
to
are you
fight
from?
professional on the show. I'm
In the
from
north?
Derry.
Derry.
I'm
Very
from
good.
Derry. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because yeah, I know Craig from the Dublin Combat Academy went on to
yeah,
the same show that you're about to, the Muay Thai Grand
yeah,
Prix. Won
yeah,
won all the way, got his ticket punched into the One Championship.
yeah,
And from my understanding, the One Championship on that side of the world gets as many eyes on as the UFC does on this side of the world. So
yes. It
um,
is absolutely massive in Asia and stuff,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
US.
huge, huge, huge. And again, for that specific martial art, that's where you want to be. Like,
Yeah,
there's no better place to be, right?
yeah, that's the ultimate goal. But absolutely delighted to be fighting on Muay Thai Grand Prix. I've followed the show for a long time, and to me, it's number one in the UK,
Yeah,
and uh, coming close to number one in Europe too as a promotion. It's uh, it's going to be a great promotion for me as a
of course.
fighter.
Yeah.
I can't wait to take the opportunity and put on a show for everybody.
Now, are you going to be doing the single fights? I take it that are on
Yeah,
on
it's a
on the
single
card.
fight.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
eventually
it's a single fight.
you'll be looking to get into one of the tournaments where it has the big money prize at the end, right?
Yeah, well, I just take each fight as it comes, and hopefully that they see good potential in me, and maybe offer me a
A
multi-fight
contract.
contract.
Yeah.
Um, so I that's my goal.
So this is your job
At the moment,
interview, then.
this is like my job interview.
That's the best way to put it. That's a job interview right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
do you know anything about your opponent yet?
Yes, and I know about my opponent. I've actually faced him before. He's a great opponent.
Wow,
Um, he's turned pro already. He's 2-0 as a pro,
nice.
and I think he's currently ranked number 2 in the UK. So looking at taking that spot off him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Good take his head
Yeah,
off. 100%. 100%.
yeah.
Um, can I ask you, in terms of, so you said you became a father at 19, you then decided to start training again. Did you decide you were going to try and take this route to make money for your family? Was that the incentive?
Not necessarily. I more done it for the love of the sport. I've always loved fighting. Um, was all I ever watched, all I cared about, really. And then it was as time went along, the goal posts just changed. My
Keeps
goal
changing.
was they won an amateur title. I just wanted they won a belt. I won my first All Ireland title in 2018, and then I just wanted more. The goal then was to become world champion.
Yeah,
I've won the world championships. Um, then became I wanted to start fighting semi-pro. Wanted to take the shin guards off and start fighting semi-pro. Ended up becoming semi-pro European champion, and defended my belt successfully.
yep.
And
Congrats on that once
the
again.
only thing left to do on the pro am ranks was to win a world title. But Muay Thai Grand Prix came, and it was just an opportunity that I couldn't turn down. So the goal is now to be a professional champion,
Nice.
and that's what I'm working towards now.
Here's a question for you, since you do say that you watch UFC and stuff. Now that we're seeing kind of an emergence of fighters that are able to transition from Muay Thai kickboxing, high level kickboxing like Glory and all that, over to the UFC and having amazing success like Easy, Alex Pereira. Do you ever get the idea of, or the temptation of, let me try this one day
Yeah.
and see how that goes?
No, I just feel like I would have too much to learn.
Too
You
much to
know,
learn.
yeah,
There is
yeah,
too much to learn, yeah, to be fair.
there's a lot of kids coming up now, who have been training MMA since they're
It's
they
crazy.
were a child.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
the
crazy.
level of jiu-jitsu, wrestling, it would just be too much for me to catch up on. So I think I'm going to stick on my own lane and stick to uh, stick to K1.
Well, I'm just saying that because since you're in Derry, there's a combat jiu-jitsu academy, and I know that
Yeah,
those guys have like top level amateurs um,
yeah,
training out of that gym. So it's like if you need ground game, which
yeah,
is the piece of the puzzle that you need to complete
yeah.
yourself, uh, that's a spot to go. So shout out to the guys there, Combat Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
That's actually that's my cousin is a coach, Kieran McFadden. That's my cousin.
Oh shit! Right. So you know Kieran. Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's
And
also Team Torres in Derry too. Team Torres is a
that's
great
right.
gym.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We will work very closely with Team Torres and spar a lot of their fighters and stuff. So they're another great gym. That Derry has some excellent gyms. But, as I said, just I feel like I would be like a duck out of water. I would have too much to learn. So
No,
I'm
100%.
pursuing my dreams of K1 at the moment.
Speaking of Team Torres, there's a guy, Oshin Daly, Team Torres in Newry, though. He's
Yeah,
18 or just turned 18,
yeah.
and he fought a 32-year-old amateur this past weekend at the IUR Fighting Championship, and just demolished the dude, like demolished the dude. It's
uh,
crazy because I'm
eh,
36 and I can't imagine that happening, but there you go, it does happen.
yeah, yeah. That's it.
It's crazy.
Um,
The guy has been training since he was like 10 or 11 or something. So yeah.
yeah. There's a
lethal.
lot of young fighters coming up who are extremely skilled.
It's scary. It's scary.
The future of Irish MMA is looking good.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%, going in the right direction. Let me just bring it back to the asthma. And this can
Yeah,
be my last question. Is there anything that you do outside of the gym, such as like diet-wise, sauna, ice baths, whatever, you name it?
yeah.
Anything else that you do that you feel like it helps you?
Um, I always felt like the steam room helped me. Um, I like the steam. I always felt like every time I had a slight flare up of my asthma, I felt like the steam really helped my chest. My mom actually told me that when I was younger, she used to take me into the bathroom and just from the bathroom and let steam get under my lungs, and she said it always cleared my chest out. So I
Nice.
feel like that helps me a lot. But I do frequently take ice baths. I go to a place called Pro Recovery, Derry, and I go up there at least once a week and do the cold plunge and infrared sauna and get the compression boots and stuff like that on. Um, I feel like that helps me too, as when I'm in the cold plunge, the main thing I focus on is my breathing
Yeah.
and really getting my breaths, slowing down my breathing. So everything really, it just helps that 1%.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. And even if you didn't have asthma, all the things you just listed, they're just helping
Yeah,
with recovery anyway. So any fighter
yeah,
that that
yeah.
that does any of this, they all know. I do the cold plunge myself, and it's like the first few seconds, like
Uh, uh, take your breath away.
freezing your balls off. Like Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
why do I do
yeah,
this myself?
yeah.
But yeah,
But it's the hardest 3 minutes of your week,
yeah, 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 yeah.
So if that's the hardest thing that you do all week, then the rest of your week is easy,
That's
you
a hundred
know.
percent. That's 100%. 100%. So here, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. Um, Huge congrats on defending your belt, getting the contract, or yeah, the contract, right? It's a single fight
Yeah,
contract
yeah,
with Muay Thai Grand Prix. Wish you all the best. I'll be watching that. I'll be watching because I like their shows a lot. So um,
yeah,
good luck with the preparation, fight preparation till then. So you have a what 2 months and a half training camp coming up
yeah,
then?
yeah.
About that, yeah.
Uh-huh. Got
So
some hard training.
that's
Thank
it.
God I'm just coming off a camp and I'm coming out of a fight with no injuries. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
I
uh
did say at the beginning, your face looks good.
yeah,
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 good to go. Ready to smash another guy. Um,
yeah.
any thing else that you'd like to say or shout out you'd like to give or anything at all? The mic's yours.
No, just want to shout out to my coach, China Coyle. Wouldn't be where I am today without him. He does a lot of work with me in the gym, and my training partner, Michael Coyle. Um, he is the reason why I am the level I am. Because I'm always trying to be as good as him, basically. And there's another few guys that help us in the gym. Tommy Duddy and Tommy McCafferty always be helping out in the gym. And thank you to Lemons as well for all the help that they've give us all us boys. Um, and I want to wish my very good friend Sean Kelly the best of luck as he fights for the Clan Wars title next week
I'll be there.
or this weekend coming.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Um, yeah, he's been training hard and I'm very excited. Normally I would be on his corner, but unfortunately I won't be this time. But I'll still be supporting him. So very best of luck to Sean Kelly, and hopefully Saturday night this has night.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you very much once again, bro. It was a absolute pleasure to have this conversation with you. Good luck
Yeah,
with everything, and yeah,
thank you very much. was great speaking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a great day, okay?
All right.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.